it's surprisingly great in discard. It is. It's really, really great tech to have in the discard deck. I do like it. I'm not gonna lie. So it's a platinum card for me.
I guess. How you feel about it?
I am the odd man out.
Welcome back to another SNAPCAST podcast. We're about to have a blast. That's right. You see somebody who's back with us. Took a trip from New Zealand, but they're finally back. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to dive into some awesome things. You know, we got series drops coming, so we can't really talk about that. We're going to talk about the new card that came out this week, the card that's coming out next week, and of course, our top pick for December's card. Now, before we dive into, let's introduce the wonderful cast we got with us. I'm Ken, aka the Super Tech Guy, the gentleman with every variant in the game. He doesn't even have a vault, but it's all right. It's getting taken care of. And of course, our co-host,
the top 5 best snappers in the world. Cino, because I snapped that hot fire, you heard? And we all rep that power on all day, you heard? Let's go. What's going on, y'all? Guess is back. Let's go.
Right. Yay. And of course, our third and final co-host of the Marvel SNAPCAST podcast, one and only.
It is me. I'm back. It's me. I'm back. It's me, it's Guess Gaming, and I'm back, and this is apparently a musical break. I don't know, it just kind of happens. But yeah, I'm back, y'all. It's Guess Gaming here. Hey, how y'all doing? Good to be back after my long trip down to the down south areas of New Zealand, kind of, sort of, and we'll talk about all of that in a lot more detail kind of a little later on in the podcast because it's very relevant to Marvel Snap, actually. But no, I'm honestly, like I was talking to Ken earlier, I'm really glad to be back. Not going to lie. I miss doing this with you guys.
Yes.
Traitor.
Total traitor.
I will say, though, the Pikachu party, fire.
So let's talk about that. Before we go into the podcast, let's talk about that.
That is so good.
I woke up this morning, baby girl, super early, go into guest stream, and I redeemed that code right away. And I watched him like, oh, shit, this is awesome. I said, guess I've never seen this before. He's like, what? How dare you? I said, yeah, Cino told me yesterday, go check it out. And there you go, guys. There it is.
The Pika party, bro. Oh, I thought the sax party was good. The Pika party? Oh, that shit is crazy. I need to check that out.
The Pika party, the music hits harder. That's why, honestly, it's just so epic and like, yeah.
The visuals crazy too. I'm not gonna lie. All the Pikachus, that's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah.
I can't
be. You guys go check it out. If you haven't seen it, go check out the Pika Party over at It's Guess Gaming's Twitch stream. Now, that's right, guys. We are almost at the end of this phenomenal season. We have 2 cards left, of course, remaining. But of course, we want to talk about the one that came out this week, and that is Fenris Wolf, which is activate, resurrect your opponent's highest power discarded or destroyed card on your side of this location. So that means cards like, of course, Deadpool. If you destroy them and they go back in your opponent's hand, of course, you won't be able to pull it over. And of course, cards like APOC that returns to your opponent's hand will not be able to come over as well. So we all had some fun with the card. I definitely had a blast with it. And this is our wonderful review of it. So I'm going to start off. I'm giving this card what I thought it was going to have. And that is, of course, a double platinum. This card does amazing things when it needs to. I think it's a great tech card. I don't think you need to build a deck around it. And I think we'll see more benefit from it as the seasons continue. As of this week, of course, we know people are playing, counters or mirrors. So I think once everybody forgets about Fenris, he's going to be even more powerful. Double platinum for me. So, how do you feel about the card?
This is rough for me. I think I said diamond last week, and
you sure did. This is your diamond card.
It's not a diamond card.
Oh,
We're gonna downgrade.
Yeah,
downgrade. Yeah,
good boy.
We're gonna bring it down. I'm struggling between double platinum and platinum. All right, now.
Yeah.
It did do something that I didn't expect it to do. I thought it was going to be Shang-Chi's like twin. I thought like they were gonna run Chi, you're running Fenris too, but like it's surprisingly great in discard. It is. It's really, really great tech to have in the discard deck. Correct. So the fact that it's got purpose. It's got dual card lists you can put it in. It's I want to say double want to say double platinum, but I'm gonna go platinum just to be reasonable. I think it's a great card, but yeah, it wasn't as powerful as I thought it was going to be. If you have chi and you have either prio and you're playing and you have nothing to chi, you're in a rough spot. You know what I mean? Like there's really nothing Fenris can do for you. But I do like it. I do like it. I'm not gonna lie. So it's a platinum card for me.
I guess. How you feel about it?
I am the odd man out. I am not looking at any kind of diamond. I am not looking at any kind of platinum. I mainly think that you all are just ahead of your time, because I agree with you that in January, all of a sudden this card will have this like mega resurgence and it'll be absolutely fantastic and everybody's going to wish that they had gotten it. But right now, that's really not the case. It's just a whole lot of, all right, everybody's discarding everything's and everybody's gladiator everything's and everyone's black bolting everything's. I have seen the Shang-Chi combo less times than I've seen Uatu in the last week. Like getting the Shang-Chi combo, like it's going to be its own little package eventually, in my opinion. I think it's going to end up being like a Fenris, and then you choose between either Moon Knight or Gladiator, and then Shang-Chi. Right, it'll be like its own little 3-card package where, especially like with Gladiator, it's like, you know, kind of like the Darkhawk package, right? You're going to have the Fenris package, because I think Gladiator into Shang-Chi is a perfect combo, because unless if you're pulling a 9-power card or an 8-power card, that's it. That's the only thing that like neither of those two cards will be able to destroy. Yeah. So you're very, very likely to get that Fenris card in some capacity. That'll create its own little combo. I'm right now at this place where every time I put it into a deck, I was making the deck weaker, is how I felt, unless if I was building for it, because I'm trying to get it to do the thing. Like I'm throwing in a Black Bolt Stature and a Moon Knight and a Gladiator. And, you know, like I'm trying too hard to get the mechanic to work just because it's the new shiny toy. And if you do that, hey, it's cool. It's great. It can work. You know, I know Tech, you had some success with it, to say the minimum. Yeah, so
it was discard though. So
yeah, exactly.
That was, and that was my plan. My plan was to destroy my opponent's cards before they play it, right? Because if they play, they can protect it. So if I could Black Bolt, Moon Knight, Yondu, I'm good to go, because I'm going to pull that card. But you're right. I mean, trying to put it with a Shang-Chi package is tougher.
Speaking of what Gus said, even when we were doing Snap Surfing, it's the same thing. The win rate with Fenris was very small. Like seeing people actually win the game was very rare. Now, what I will say also to what you said is you're forcing, and we were saying that day too. And I was saying this, like you're forcing this to happen, right? We're forcing Fenris to be like, we're trying to showcase this new card. So we're forcing situations to where this is useful to us. I don't think Fenris is great in that sense. I think Fenris is great in a sense that he's a great tool to have, and it can be very useful to you in certain situations. That's what makes him special. I don't think he's the highlight of the card list that you're trying to force to happen. I don't think that's going to work for you. I think it's a tool to use for you if you so happen to want to steer the ship in that direction. You know what I mean? Right.
And that's where I think with this card, it ends up becoming a staple in Mill more than anything else a month from now. I think that just makes sense, because you're Yonduing, you're Gladiatoring, and then you're also stealing at the same time. So you're removing your opponent's cards, and then look, that 2/3 just got value. Even if it takes on a 1/2, you know, it takes on an Iceman that Yondu destroyed. That's still good value out of Fenris. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing, is that this is still good value, even if you bring back 2 power at the very end of the game, or in a closed lane, like
or early.
Or early, exactly, to clog it up. Like there's a lot of good that can happen when you're not trying to do the big thing. And that's where I see the value in it in the future. As of right now, it is a gold card to me. I do not even have it at double gold, because I think everybody's trying too hard and they're making their decks worse, because we haven't honed in figuring out how does this integrate better as a smaller package rather than a dedicated deck. So I like the card, but I think in January, all of a sudden, wait for it, there's going to be a resurgence of this card, because there's going to be a lot of discard.
I think it's perfect for counter cards. It's perfect for a counter deck. So if you're trying to lose priority and try to stop, it's perfect for the counter card, trying to stop your opponent's plays and things like that, and some
attack
type
deck.
of annoying an attack deck. Yes, and it's great in discard actually. So it does have purpose.
All right,
I think it's worth the 6,000 too. I think it's worth the 6,000.
Oh yeah, I think you should get it. No, you need to get it because if you don't get it come January, you're going to cry come January. And we'll talk about card acquisition later, but
it's a great counter card. It's just not the highlight of your deck.
Yes, listen, there's been some gold cards on here we can't recommend, but this is a gold card for you. I'm assuming you should recommend because at the end of the day, if somebody can't get this card in January, they're going to feel it worse then, unless card acquisition changes by then. Nonetheless, we're going to my
shot on the side. That was like a low cut shot. I like that. Let's go.
Small jab. Just
exactly. My diamond pick of the season still. And he's going to be the reigning champion coming next week.
We'll see.
And that is Gorr, the God Butcher. Now, Gorr is a ongoing. All right. To get +2 power for each on reveal card in play, ladies and gentlemen. So we all know every list we spoke about, especially this discard list, have a ton of on reveals. So these are going to buff the heck out of Gorr. And of course, if you're playing some crazy madness with like Onslaught, or you want to do Mystique to have 2 Gorr, the God Butchers, or what list we're going to put them in, guys? Everybody's going to put them in negative. So be prepared to see Mobius reign his ugly head come next week. So make sure you guys walk around with that Enchantress. Make sure you guys walk around with that Red Guardian, because you're going to need it, especially going up with Gorr. So yeah, I like it. I'm still going with Diamond. Go ahead. What you got, Sino? How you feel about Gorr? Preview.
Double platinum. I'm going to go double platinum. I think you can proc up Gorr to ridiculous amounts of power. He is going to be a great drop down 6 card, a great finale card. I thought Fenris was going to be better. Now I think Gorr might take that top slot. I again reserve judgment until this card actually comes out and I can play it. But from the jump right now, I think it's going to take top slot as the best card. And yeah, I think it's definitely a double platinum.
All right, guess.
Well, what we doing over there, guess? I see you cooking.
I'm cooking, and I'm mainly cooking because of Loopy.
Okay.
If you go back pre my era of the Marvel Snapcast, Loopy was on an episode with y'all talking about a specific god combo that did get addressed by Second Dinner, which was Null and Dracula.
Oh, right. Yes.
That was his thing.
And that was like one of his big claims to fame as he started to climb into the ranks of Marvel Snap as a creator.
Right.
And that is correct. I'll never forget that episode because I thought it was just such a unique way to do things. I wonder if that will work with Gorr.
But it has to be played.
He has to be played.
No. Let's see. It says for each on-revealing card in play. I don't think he has to be.
Oh, that's true.
Right. It's an ongoing.
That's true.
Right.
So in your hand, it should show you that number, correct?
Correct.
Like Morbius.
Yes.
Like Morbius does, like Darkhawk does, like etc. Right. Like Null. But I know that there was something integrated where it could work or it could not work. It's one of the things I want to test. Mainly because I think that this card is going to be used in places people are not necessarily thinking about. Like, I can see this being an absolutely wild zoo card.
Agreed.
Think of all the one drops that you're dropping with on reveals. You're playing your Shana, which is putting out potentially 4 on reveals in one shot all by yourself.
And you got Gilgamesh.
Right, and you got Gilgamesh.
5.
Exactly.
Right,
and then you get some ramp ability potentially in there too. Like, I think that, there's something like that makes him absolutely thrive. I'm looking at Clog just as much because Clog has a load of on reveal cards, yet alone things like goblins where you're throwing on reveals to the other side of the battlefield. So stuff like that adds up. because now it's just more cards.
Field, right? It's both sides of the field, right? Not just
both sides.
In play. That means both sides of the battlefield.
So some Cape Bishop in that deck too also would be kind of
exactly right. Some Cape Bishop working. You know, like I think that Gorr is going to be a very good card. In also the one place we don't want him to be, which is unfortunate because it's where I think he's gonna no.
Really, I think he's gonna be great with that. I mean, what you're saying.
No, he's gonna be absolutely cracked in Thanos.
Yes, with all the stones. That is correct.
Oh yes, there we go.
He's gonna be cracked in Thanos. Yeah, and where are you seeing Thanos the most right now?
Everywhere, right?
Surtur.
Jeez Louise.
Not in Surtur. No. You're seeing him in Arishem everywhere right now.
Oh, Arishem. Yeah. I haven't seen.
Did you hear how depressed you two both got? You're like, oh yeah, Thanos.
Arishem.
Oh no, Arishem. Yeah, sure.
Because I think Arishem is so cheap, bro. Like it's so much out there. It's getting to be like annoying when it comes to that. It's like, but you have 23 fucking cards in your hand. We know what you're doing. Okay, let's go.
But for real though, it will go very well in that deck. I think that Gorr is going to end up being a lot better than what people think.
100%.
I think the fact that Second Dinner buffed him from the data mined 6-3 to the 6-1 that he now is probably a mistake. It's probably something that if I had to make a guess, every season we've gone into the holiday break with one card we hated, right? We had the Loki era, we had the Blob era, and this might become the Gorr era over the holiday break that doesn't get addressed until January. I am very worried that this card is going to be the strongest 6-cost card in all of the game, and yet alone, the fact that it's ongoing and there are other ways to ramp this thing out, this is going to be a very scary card, in my opinion. This is my diamond card at this point.
We're not far off.
With you too.
Because I truly think that, as we saw with Frigga, who was okay, we saw Malekith, who was okay, Fenris, who was, in my opinion, less than okay, and now we're going down the path of Gorr. I think Gorr is going to stand out, and it's going to cause a very unique change in the meta, because we need a card like Gorr to shake up Surtur, which is big card, right? It's just big 4-drop, and most of them are not on reveal except for like Arrow and Eliath. You know, Typhoid Mary's ongoing, Cull Obsidian's nothing, Crossbones is nothing.
Arrows.
You know what I mean? Like most of them are just not on reveal. You get Zabu, okay.
Correct.
That ain't gonna. That's what I was thinking. I was like Zabu. You got
that's it. Like there's not a lot of good that's happening for Gorr decks, except for the fact that wait a minute, things like even bounce can find ways to be good here.
It's gonna hate it, though, if they're playing against it.
Oh yeah, but just imagine a black swan down on the board, and then turn 6, you're dropping all of your 1-drops again for free with a Gorr. Hitmonkey who? Like, it is just, there are so many things that people are not thinking about with this card that you're going to see more videos, more different styles of deck. 100%. It is a home run hitting card.
It's just slugger. It's going to hit the ball out the park.
The secret list I'm thinking about, and it goes back to Guess assumption, is Black Knight, because I'm going to Black Knight, get the wonderful shard, or the whatever they call the sword, with Gorr's wonderful power, and then Ghost Rider right back. Ghost Rider's on reveal, right? You can do a lot of cool things with that too, and I think that is where I think people are going to see it. Like you said, there's a lot of places people are not thinking about it to be played in, but those are the card lists I think is going to also be great, because it's a big surprise. Especially at the end, you play the Ghost Rider and pull it back with all the other unreveals, and Ghost Rider himself being an unreveal. Gorr is just going to get buffed in crazy numbers, and I'm very excited about that. Yeah,
I think this is a very, very, very good card. And you guys know, I don't say that very often in prediction. I always have reservations about certain cards. In my opinion, this is the best card of the month. Surtur, is going to be probably pretty close. but it's going to be refreshing for the meta to see a healthy big card become something worthwhile, because there are so many different types of decks that can benefit from a singular massive big card that is dependent on both sides of the battlefield, because it makes a whole mind game, unlike Blob, where it's just like you're guessing a number for the most part. This is also a mind game that continues to grow, that your opponent is saying, wait a minute, they have all these on reveals down. They're probably playing Gorr. Where is it going? But then I'm also playing cards. How much more am I adding on to it? Like, it's
I'm actually helping him too, like, because I'm playing on reveals. Oh shit! Like, what do I do now? How do I get around this? What do I do? I get it. I totally get it. This card is going to be super cracked, and especially if you can find ways to cheat it out and Taskmaster it maybe and enhance it with maybe some onslaught shenanigans. Of course, you'll probably need magic or such things, pixie things, but negative. That would be insane. Negative or negative.
When you negative, this card is a wrap.
It's so hard to say negative and then really feel like that's reliable, right? Like it's like, negative. It's like,
I hear you, but
I gotta draw negative. I gotta get negative. Like get negative. Come on, negative.
You got anti-venom.
MIA.
You got anti-venom too. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna throw this at you, and you're not gonna like it, but you're gonna love it at the same time. The deck that I'm probably opening with Gorr is mostly not mine. It's TLSG's. I don't know if you've gone up against TLSG's, Serra, Onslaught, Blink, all the Surfer 3-cost cards deck.
Whoa, that's cool.
And it's all 3-cost cards, and then Blink, Serra, and Onslaught. So all the 3 costs are basically on reveals already. Yeah, and the whole point of the deck is to get down magic plus then Serra Onslaught. So everything's already reduced too.
We've done that with Sage, so we're good.
With Sage,
exactly. Sage is in that list, exactly. I think that kind of deck actually does some real damage. That kind of build does some real damage when you're getting Gorr out on turn 7 with all these other cards down, and Gorr's only costing 4. So I'm about that life. I'm about that life.
It's gonna be cracked. I'm telling you, it's gonna be so good.
It's gonna be a blast. I'm telling you guys that too. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, I know that for a fact. I mean, it's similar to what we did with the Serra. I mean, the Sage deck. Sage, Serra, Surfer, Wong, Onslaught, Magic, same shit.
That Onslaught Serra combination, lethal. You can make it. You can do many things.
It's a wrap after that. And then I forgot who did the other list, kind of like that, when they brought in the what's his name? The card that's ongoing that gets plus whatever when your hand only has 1 card or less.
Strong guy.
Oh, a strong guy.
The strong, so kind of the same thing, right? The strong guy thing where you just put strong guy for Gorr.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. All right, guys. I know we're all talking about Gorr. It's just it's Gorr season, guys. It's going to be a wrap. We do have a card that's coming out this week as well, alongside, or next week, how you want to put it, alongside both Fenris and, of course, Gorr the God Butcher, and that's King Eitri. Now, King Eitri is activate. So we have another activate card.
Eitri?
What is it? Eitri?
Eitri, I thought.
There's no N. There's no N. It's EITRI.
Hey, buddy.
Eitri.
What movie you be watching, bro?
Oh my goodness. It is an activate card that draw a card from your deck that did not start here. Now, people feel this is another or a cheap cost of Jane Foster, because, of course, this card will be thrown into a ton of Better Way Bill and Thor lists. Now, it is an activate, so it's pretty good. That's the reason why it makes it, I think, a good card. I'm definitely going to rank this card in the double silver range. I think, yes, it may work in other lists that can pull cards like Arishem and Thanos, but I think that's the best place for it is those locations. So I'm just going to say double silver for me. Sounds like Guess wants to say something. Guess.
But first, before Guess goes, can you say what it does again? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Draw a card from your deck that did not start there.
Okay, cool. Okay, I guess.
I mean, you glazed over the better synergies, which are, like, I shouldn't say better, because I mean, you're going to see it with the Hammer Bros 100%, and I think I think it's probably honestly a package deal, where you just maybe only run Beta Ray Bill exclusively plus King Eitri and you ignore Thor and you ignore Jane Foster kind of a thing. If you go all in, you go all in, but you can make a smaller package with those cards. But I think honestly, reverting back to earlier conversations, I think it's going to be a great card in Thanos because it's going to automatically pull a stone. And sadly in Arishem, it's going to be easy to get that to pull as well. And you don't have to like it. You don't, but it's true. And
we don't.
Yeah, and
we don't like it. Guess.
In a weird way, it's also kind of got this this nice little tech built into it, where if we start seeing things like Darkhawk becoming popular, this is a great 1-drop you throw into there as a way to just draw it out of your deck, just to get it out of the way, so you know you're not drawing it as your card draw. You know, it's a cleansing piece in that sense. I think that the card is probably being undersold a little bit, because anytime shuffles happen, you know, you see something like, I don't know, throw in like an Attilan situation, you throw in several different not dream dimension, quantum tunnels, and you know, the card that you sent on over, you know, got shuffled in, and like there's some other little random synergies that I think that are going to emerge because of it. But I think this is a staple, obviously, for Hammer Bros. I think it's going to be a very good card in both Arishem and Thanos as well. I'm going to give it a gold. I actually like this card better than Fenris coming into the season.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm very shocked to hear that. Everything you said is phenomenal. I still think this card is not going to do great. I mean, I get it.
That's fair.
I get it. You can pull the rock out from the Dark Heart package, but you can do the same thing with Crystal and you got more stats. I just think that, I don't know. Like I said, I think this is going to fit in that. I don't think anybody's going to play the Arishem with Thanos, to be honest. I think everybody's going to play it in Hammer Bros for sure.
Well,
and
yeah.
I think somebody's going to play it in something else. Maybe. I don't know. Does Lockjaw doesn't count either, right? You can't say put something in Lockjaw and now that didn't start in your deck. It did, right? Because Lockjaw just shuffles was in your deck. So I don't know. I think this is definitely a great. I'm not gonna say it's a great
shuffling a card
deck.
from hand to deck. Pause.
Yeah, but it did start there.
Yeah, no, it has to be things like Thanos' stones or.
Right.
Or
that weren't originally in the deck from jump.
Right. So for example, right, you could have this on the board if you want to do Lockjaw. Say you play the Hood, right? You play the Hood on down and you throw the demon into Lockjaw. You can then pull it back out again with King Eitri because that didn't start in your deck.
No, in your deck.
Correct. That's
it
why
wasn't the 12. It wasn't the 12 original cards that you set up.
Correct.
Exactly. None of the 12 original. Right. Exactly. Right. All right. Perfect.
Yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Your take.
It's a gold card because it's only for, in my opinion, until somebody cracks it and elevates it. It's going to be gold because my mind immediately goes to Hammer Bros. Right, like that's the first deck that I'm thinking. Now it does have Thanos purposes. It has a lot of little things it can do, but I just think the Hammer Bros is where you're going to use King Eitri. You want those hammers. You're trying to get that buff up for Beta Ray and Thanos. You're trying to put those hammers, and I'm going to use it in a Lockjaw list because it's just more fun that way, and it's going to be so good. Like especially if you pull a hammer just from the jump, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's a great substitute for Jane Foster, so that's awesome. Yeah, I just think it's just generated towards one area right now, which makes it a gold card.
Okay, I hate you guys, love it. Now we're going to some cards that I think this whole season might be all diamonds or double platinum. To be honest, these cards are 100% broken, and if they do come out the way they are dated mine, I think we're in for a hell of a December. Yeah. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, go ahead and check out the videos. I think I did one as well. Go ahead and check out the links to find out what December cards are coming out. We could give you a rundown real quick, but instead of doing that, I wanted us to pick one card that we feel will be a diamond card of that season and express why. So I'm not going to go first this time. I'm going to go ahead and let Guess go first and let him express what he feels the diamond card is of December.
So for those who have not heard, it's data mined right now that December is going to be themed around a partnership with Marvel rivals and a lot of specific characters from the Marvel universe that have not been in Marvel Snap yet are making their appearance for the very first time, as well as some unique variations of characters that do already exist in Marvel Snap are now also potentially coming to the game. One of them, which is my diamond card, I think the more I sit on it, I'm pretty sure I'm going to call it my diamond card for the season, is the one we have to wait the most for. It is a hybrid in a way because the card is Rocket and Groot. It is literally Rocket Raccoon riding Groot. It is a joint card that is a
riding Groot's shoulder.
Yeah, riding Groot's shoulder. It is a 3/3. You can move this once. After your opponent plays a card here, steal one power from it. Now, I look at this and I think that this is a scary, strong card at 3/3 because it doesn't say once. It's every time. So you play this down as your opponent is playing cards into that lane. It's stealing a power. So it's not just like getting +1, it's removing one also from the opponent. And then at any point you can move the card. And then in that other lane, it still continues that effect. So
here's a question for you on that before you continue.
Yeah.
Does it only steal the one card played? Or if somebody played 3 cards one shot in that lane, does it steal all 3?
The way I'm reading it, after your opponent plays a card here, steal a power from it. Yeah.
A card, okay. Fair. So this one card. It'll be broken.
No. I don't read it as one card. I don't read that as one card at all.
All of it.
Yeah.
I thought so, so all 3.
Yeah. You play a card. Think about it when you're playing something. Yeah. If you're playing into like Altar of Death, right? You're playing into Altar of Death. Yeah. Every time you play a card here, destroy it and get +2 power. Yeah, sure. Exactly. Play a card here typically means every card that is played at that location, that effect will go through.
That's crazy. That card is definitely cracked. But yes, fantastic.
So if that goes, even if it's only once, if you get 2 hits off of it, the full value of this card is already a 3/7.
Yeah,
and that's incredibly strong. Yeah, and exactly, and it moves
one time. It gives a Jeff.
Yep.
Wow.
So
great choice.
I love this card. I think that this is going to be a staple card. It's going to be an affliction card. It's going to be a surfer card. It's going to be a move card. It's going to be. This is one of the most unique cards and most complex cards coming this month, and I am such a fan of it. So that's my choice of the diamond card for the month. But it doesn't come out until New Year's Eve.
Perfect. All right. Sino, how do you feel, buddy? What is your pick?
I'm a little more offensive minded, so I'm gonna go with Dr. Doom 2099. That's my guy right there.
That card's broken too.
After he started, add a Doombot 2099 to a random location if you played exactly one card. So it will add a Doombot if you played exactly one card. So I do like this. I think it's going to make Doom cracked. I miss the old Sandman now, right? Like that would have been so good. That old Sandman would have been so nice.
But I think it's worth noting that the Doombot 2099s are different. That these 2099 Doombots are not the same as we see with Dr. Doom. They're 4/2s with ongoing effects simultaneously that give your other Doombots and Doom +1 power. So that's incredibly important to see that synergy.
Exactly. And I'm thinking Miss Marvel here with this one. You know what I mean? You definitely want to have Miss Marvel there, get that buff also on those sides. So yeah, I think this is going to be the most cracked card coming out in December.
Wow. I mean, good call, guys. Great picks. I can't deny. I think those cards are both broken. I think all these cards are broken, to be honest. If they do come out this way, it's going to be an epic December, and I'm so for it. Now, my diamond card of the month is the one and only, the Battle Pass card, and that is Galactica. Why did I pick Galactica as my pick for the diamond? Well, listen, up until now, I think Anti-Venom has the run-in for Agent Venom has the run-in for the best Battle Pass card this year, right? Galactica might take that over. So she is a 4/6. All right. each turn, the first card you play in another location reveals with +3 power. That's madness. You know that is so much madness, because play this. You can play this with surfer cards. You can play this with Sebastian Shaw. You can play this with whatever you want and have a blast. But you know what I'm going to play it with? 2 cards in particular. I'm going to play it with.
You say Infinite, I swear to God.
Yes, this gives Infinite his buff, make it a 23 power when we drop it on that last turn. Let's go. Finally, the Infinite gets a buff, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, it's only right. You got to play Galactus with his daughter. That makes Galactus a wonderful 6/9 power. So yes, we do some funny Aranya stuff. We do some cool, what's that called? Symbiote Spider-Man stuff. But you know, it will just feel right when you could drop that 6/9 Galactus and win the game with your daughter by your side. And that is my pick for the diamond card.
And then your daughter dies.
It's okay. She don't die. She can never
kill your daughter.
They don't go to the Shadow Realm in this game, guys. Wrong game. This is not you.
Gotcha.
They do not go to the Shadow Realm.
This is true.
Right?
I'm a little confused with this card though, because
let me hear.
It says, you know, with each turn, the first card you play at another location reveals with +3, yes. Right? So does that mean as long as you play on turn 5, if she's in, let's say, the right lane, the first card you play in the mid and the first card you play in the left?
On the left, correct.
Yeah, Jason's her. So anything, other than her, I would
each turn. So on turn 6, same thing too.
Yeah, 5 and 6.
If that's the case, there's no way she's releasing at 4/6. There's no way.
I'm telling you guys. That's why I says if it does, it's broken.
Correct.
You know how many cool things we could do with that, especially in turn 5 and in turn 6.
Yeah, this definitely is Black Panther. Another little buff.
This season, you don't even got to worry about 5-cost cards. You could play lower cost cards. Like I said, Sebastian Shaw in one lane and another card in another lane on the same turn, and those 2 will get +3 additional power.
But you know, she's
like who needs? Yes, so you play her on 4. So on turn
5.
Yes, with something else in another lane. So Shaw would get the +3 plus his buff. 6. And then and then 6, you play something else in those 2 lanes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Like, it will get, so it's basically given +9.
I think cheated out with Zabu, it's a little bit better.
+6. Oh, yeah, play it on 3. Bro, I'm telling you, this card is going to be bananas. This might be the best. Who needs Gwen now? You don't need Gwenpool anymore. Galactica's going to take care of all that extra buffing for you.
Don't go that far.
I think so. You get to control it too. You get to give what card you want to get that buff. Listen, we got to see these cards come out the way they are, guys. We're just all speculating, but that's our diamond picks for December. If things change, you guys will hear it here first. But for right now, I think every card is a diamond card next month. So we just want to see what you guys feel. Let us know down below what you guys think is your favorite diamond card of next season. Now we got to talk about a card that I feel is a diamond card. When we first spoke about it, we were big on it, just like other cards. We were so big on it that we ran a tournament of this wonderful card. And I think, like every other card that does broken things, you get tired of it unless it's tamed. And we're going to talk about the wonderful Arishem. So Arishem has been, I've seen guest streams where he will straight up just retreat.
Yep.
I'm like, wow. I'm like, you're not even going to try? He's like, nope, take your 1 cube. I'm out. Now,
that I don't agree with.
You should at least feeling.
You should at least try.
See, I'm with you.
I have beaten Arishem a few times.
We all have. This feeling.
He doesn't want to hit that shit. He don't want to hit that.
He's like, I'm not wasting time. It reminds me of the Galactus days with Galactus Spider-Man, right? He's just like, you know what? Take your cube, I'm out of here, right? It reminds me of those days, right? Or the double Spider-Man. You're like, yeah, I'm not playing this anymore. Take your cube, I'm out. So I totally understand. I totally get point of view of the Arishem. Now, there were a lot of people talking about it. A lot of people were very upset about the card. A lot of people were saying there's ways to combat the card, which is true. You play things like, Cassandra Nova. You play things like, everything else. And you can definitely counter the card, but I do, Morbius, I do feel that Arishem do need some type of adjusting. I'm not going to say touching, adjusting. And we want to kind of talk about that now. So guess, yes, what is your wonderful take on the Arishem.
There was a little bit of a drama that also happened around Arishem too, where they put it up in the Discord in the feedback area, because a lot of people were talking about it in the general Discord for Marvel Snap. And they put up a feedback area to ask about, legitimate feelings about Arishem. And through a combination of a bunch of events between the community and content creators involved, they basically turned it into the largest downvoted thing that's ever come out when it comes to, like, how do you feel about this card? And the ratio was like 6-1 negative to positive on, like, I don't like this card. And it was so bad at one point that they also had to disable the voting, upvoting, downvoting to talk about it. But the whole purpose of it was to get people talking about talk constructively. What do you like or not like about the card? Because as much as I don't like the card itself, to talk about it constructively, I think is incredibly important. And we should be able to feel comfortable expressing ourselves as long as we do it constructively. And it's one thing to be upset and have a bad beat and get pissed off and need to touch grass. We've all been there. But when it comes to feedback, we have to, absolutely have to.
Grass.
Yeah, different grass. We have to make sure that we're doing it in a certain way that actually moves forward the conversation rather than just has it constantly hit a wall. So, even, and the content creators are even talking about it too. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, before it ends up being a breach of NDA, I'm going to tell you what I am going to send to the developers. And then I'm going to hit the enter button and send it to the developers.
Right.
Live
So
on air, baby.
I'm not,
That's gangster.
because I am not
That's
breaking
gangster.
NDA. I am
There we
telling
go.
you, the audience, here on this recording, it is my time in Brazil, 10:53 p.m. at the time of this recording. Here is
8:54.
my feed.
Yeah.
This is my feedback that I've provided about Arishem in a constructive manner. I will hit enter, and then I'd like you guys to comment on it, because I have it down to 3 points. Real simple. As a player, I hate being a part of a one-sided enjoyment experience where I'm not on the side having fun. It's like when Galactus was popular. It's fun for one person only. And single-handedly, it is the card that pushed me away as a player and creator and led me to find other games for entertainment and content creation. It has led to more moments of frustration and angst than any other card in the game. Number 2, as a creator, I refuse to play against it unless I'm playing a deck with Cassandra Nova or Darkhawk, because matchup wise, it makes no sense to try and play with any sort of strategy for content, because 60% of their deck is straight up random. It removes a major component of Snap, which is being able to read the opponent. It results in having a similar effect on the game as Ego. It just becomes a game of retreat mechanics. Therefore, for content, I don't even bother anymore, and I just auto retreat. I even have community commands set up for it. Point number 3. As a card, the thing obviously that makes Arishem unique is the advantage in the curve due to the +1 energy. However, that perk outweighs the negativity of 15 random cards in a very imbalanced fashion. So here's my proposal, because as you guys know, there's whining and then there's having a conversation with resolution. This is what I would do. I'm not a developer. This is just my opinion. Arishem, 6/7. At the start of the game, +1 max energy. Cards that start in your deck get +1 cost. Then shuffle 15 random cards into your deck.
He chose violence.
And sent. Now,
Oh wow, there it goes.
I've sent that on out, and the reason I have that resolution is
I
because
think you forgot also its interaction with Quinjet, making it also unbearable.
Right, exactly. So
Yeah.
by doing that, number one, you're more reliant on Quinjet. Number two, if you're going to take advantage of the extra energy, it should be more so at the random side rather than the orchestrated side. And three, it then allows the 6 cost cards that very often get put with Arishem, which are the most detrimental. Well, now they're all 7 cost. So you can play it, but you're only going to play it as the only card on turn 6. So
taking account for the energy.
Exactly.
Addition.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's why I say Arishem 6/7, because he starts in the deck, therefore he becomes a 7/7. So it's a unique card and people do like playing with it. And I support the idea that anybody should be able to play whatever the hell they want. However, as an opponent, I have just as much liberty to say, I don't like to play against that deck. It's very obvious. You know, I have the untapped tracker. I can know immediately that you have 23, 26, 28, whatever cards in your deck at any given point. I'm just going to retreat because it is literally not worth my sanity to play strategically and then wait a minute, where'd that Heimdall come from? Or where'd that Spider-Man 2099 come from? Or it just is, it's an unbearable piece for content creation. And I think Arishem is now hitting a point in the community where its popularity is going too high and its effect on the game is starting to become very detrimental. So much so that major creators are leaving not only the game, but major creators are leaving the entire Marvel Snap creation community as well.
Okay. No, I hear that. I totally get it. I mean, I think, listen, I agree with everything you said. And I do like your resolution. I think that would be the best sort out plan for it. So you're relying on the Quinjet, you're relying on the other cards to give you additional, whether it be Wiccan or, Electro to help you try to cheat back out the original Arishem. I think that's the fairest way to do so. So I do agree, and I do like your resolution on the card. I think Second Dinner should really take heed to that. And it still makes the card fun, and it definitely puts that kind of onus on the card that, hey, you want to do this? Well, you're gonna have to deal with it this way. Mm-hmm. Can they code that into the game? I think so. So shouldn't be too difficult. So I really hope that they do listen. Guess
I just think their whole motto is balance, right? Their whole motto is balance. The game needs to be balanced, right? And obviously, from what Guess is saying, and obviously what we all experience, it's overly used, right? So at this point, and I think Second Dinner has to take time and reflect and see that it's a little too much. If not what Guest said to solve it, just take away the interaction with Quinjet also. Like, just make that null and void. You can't have interaction with Quinjet. And then it takes it down a step. Not that it solves the problem, Guest, saying that it does.
Yes. No, but it's tough because you're making a card.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. It's just it's overused, and we're all about balance in this game. So I think they need to address this and balance it out to a point where it's even for kind of both players. Because like Guest says, as soon as he sees it, he just thinks, "Oh, okay, you have an unfair advantage, and I don't. I have to work around your advantage."
Yeah, it's not even like advantage in the sense of like you have the ability to play the deck that you want ahead of curve. Like, you're running an Elysium and I'm not. It's
and you're getting a random Chi or a random Enchantress or a random Cosmo or something to help you.
You're literally playing against an opponent where you can read my deck, but I can't read yours.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that piece of it, and that piece of it is just not a pleasant gaming experience. You want to know who your opponent is. And part of the game is that discovery process and projection and trying to figure it out.
I don't know. I agree with you how Arishem sucks. I just feel that I welcome the challenge and I beat the Arishem majority of the time. I think my deck is better than yours because I have my synergies. You have to get lucky. And in most cases, you don't get lucky. I just feel that way. I mean, that's just me, but I get it. It is a frustrating card. I'm not saying it's not. I just feel that I think in Marvel Snap, the people you play against are going to do something random for you. You might not know that. You might assume that I'm playing a move deck, but instead I'm playing a destroy deck. I mean, some cases it does happen that way where you're playing something different And you assume that you think you have me figured out, but then I do something completely different. And we see it all the time. I just think that the Arishem piece of getting that extra energy is what makes it the most difficult. That's what I look at it as.
However, my opposition on that is you may have like a surprise play, built into the deck within the 12 cards that you've built. However, Arishem has nearly 300 cards of options that you cannot factor in. Even with Agent Coulson, you at least know it's only the 4s and the 5s. With Valentina, you know it's only the 6 costs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's, and with RNG, like something goes into Quantum Tunnel, you literally have no idea what the hell's going to pop on out. It's that amount of there's RNG, and then there's literally too much RNG, and that's part of the problem.
What's the most winning deck right now? It's not Arishem. And that's what I mean, because it's up in the air, right? Because Arishem can give you a shit ton of trash cards. Right, like it's a very unique thing. I get it. I see the frustration, but it's like, to me, it's like, I don't think it's the randomness that upsets me. It's the extra energy that upsets me. You know what I mean? So that's why I like your fix for it.
Built with the right tech cards into their Arishem deck, it can be extremely fucking annoying. But
they have to get it though after 15 other cards are shuffled. Yeah,
they have.
I'm trying to say it's a very tricky thing. At the same time,
they always seem to happen to get it.
Okay, so let's put it like this. Do you want most? I don't think most winning is actually the number you're looking for. I think you're looking at most commonly played.
Right.
Because it's how often are you going up against the card? That's the question. How often are you going up against it?
Okay.
Right?
Okay. All right.
Okay. Number one, from 70 all the way through infinite. Fair? So that way it's like people who are trying to get infinite and those who are actually infinite.
Yes.
Right. Since the latest patch, number one deck, Thanos Arishem. 6 over, and this for via Untapped, 16,000 games. The next deck.
I blame Thanos for that.
Okay, fine.
But yeah, good to do.
Next deck up, not even 10,000.
No, I hear you. I get it. You're right. I know it's being mostly played. I don't think.
And also, deck number 5 is Arishem too, without Thanos.
Of course, that's a classic Arishem, right? And I think that's exactly where he belongs. I think Thanos is what caused everybody to say, "I want to play Arishem," because you get Thanos in your hand, you already have that extra energy. So Thanos, and if you get to play the whatever stone, the green stone, now Thanos becomes not a 4, because it becomes a 4-cost card, right, in your hand. So I think everybody's like, "Ooh, I want to play Thanos or Arishem." I think that's the reason why we see the spike in Arishem. But beyond Thanos, that number 5 one, I think, is exactly what Arishem is. And if we go on how many Arishem games people win, I'm sure they win a lot now because Guess is retreating and everybody else that watch Guess is retreating. But head to head against Arishem, I really feel like they also have a disadvantage when it comes to the cards they're getting, but they have a huge advantage with that energy. And that's why I think your idea needs to be implemented.
I would love it. I would love it. I would love it. I am just a guy with a brain. I am not with an opinion. I think it solves a lot.
You want me to take care of this guest? Fuck Arishem, okay? We don't like Arishem, all right? We ain't about that. I tell them why you mad. I could do the whole thing. Don't worry. I got rant.
That's right.
Don't worry about it. I get things changed. Right?
I haven't been here in 3 weeks. I will tell you why I'm fucking mad, all right?
Speaking of why you haven't been here in 3 weeks, let's talk about our final topic of the evening, and that is Snap versus everything else. Now we have people who are traders on the podcast.
I know you ain't talking. No, you ain't over there.
Hi.
Hi. That kettle black.
Hello.
Like, you cannot do that.
My name is Guess, and I'm a Pokeholic. You know?
Yeah, it's okay.
Pokemon. I played the Bazaar. I played the Bazaar, a ton of Bazaar. So listen, I get it.
Bazaar, Pokemon, any other game he can get his hands on.
But I still put Snap on my back, so we good. Yeah, we're talking about this right now. Snap versus everything else that's coming out. We got Rivals coming out soon. We have the Bazaar that's out right now. It's a fun game. And we have Pokemon Pocket that is, people say it's not a rival to Snap, but it kind of is because they're in the same space. What we see happening right now is your favorite content creator is, dipping and dabbling into the multiple worlds of Pokemon and Snap. More Pokemon than Snap at this moment, due to a lot of things going on with Snap. But nonetheless, I think this is great. I think competition is always great. I always say back to Madden versus 2K. Madden got super lazy, and then 2K5 came out, and then Madden 05 was bananas with Ray Lewis on the cover. I will never forget that. When we had Terrell Owens on the 2K cover. That is the best time of football, guys. When you had a decision to make, are you going to play one game, both games? They were both phenomenal. And I think Pokemon is bringing that heat to Snap, and I hope Snap really take heed to it and really try to, improve on the places that they need improvement on. Now, my comparison, I'm just going to real quickly, I do 100%. I've been saying it from the beginning, Snap battles is way better, more entertaining than Pokemon battles, but the pack opening is definitely addicted, and it just makes you excited like a kid again, right? So it's super fun in that. The Bazaar is just a different style of game. It's an auto builder. Now I know Marvel had an auto builder that I saw Valentine play months ago. That didn't really kick off, but the Bazaar is a super fun auto builder game, right? So I really enjoy that. And Rivals is just a whole different game altogether, and everybody's going to have a blast because of that Marvel IP. Nonetheless, we wanted to bring this up to discuss our take on it. We did talk about it 2 episodes ago. We don't think Snap is dead or dying. We just think that competition is great. And I hope Second Dinner and the rest of the team sees what's happening, and they, apply that pressure back and ensure their content creators and the players that they are going to be here for a while and keep this game thriving through it all. Guess, what is your take on Snap versus the world?
So from a trader's point of view, the reason I wasn't here, for those who do not know, for some reason, I was not on the podcast for a couple of weeks because I did 12 straight days of nothing but solid Pokemon Pocket. I went all in on the game as a second game and wanted to really see this, kick off properly. In my opinion, I had played a bit in the soft launch, which is why I was in New Zealand for so long, quote unquote. And then global launch came on out, and I really dove in heavy on it, and I already been getting tons of amazing feedback from it, and I really do enjoy the game. I am going to continue to play it. I'm still going to create content on it. But watching the environment of Marvel Snap during this time, it really first started with the Pocket conversations, and now we're getting closer to Rivals, and then Bazaar is kind of trickling on into. It's interesting watching the content creators not only interacting with their communities differently, but just watching the audience try to figure out, well, wait, what do I do? Because my favorite content creator is now splitting time. Wait a minute, why is Educated Collins now playing nothing but Bazaar? Why is Guest, who's been in all these other videos for Marvel Snap, and then the next week later does 12 straight days of nothing but Pokemon? Why is Cozy Snap opening a whole new channel dedicated to nothing but Marvel Rivals? Like, you're seeing content creators diversifying in creating second channels, third channels, splitting their stream time, and the consistency that the audience has had of saying, hey, I'm going to watch Marvel Snap. So-and-so is streaming it because this is their number one game. This is the only game they play. That rhythm is about to be broken. And I think a lot of the community is not prepared for that from a content creator's point of view, because they're like, wait a minute, I don't know what to do now. Do I just stop watching you? Because every time I log in to see you, I have to see, oh, wait, no, you're playing this other game I don't have an interest in. No, you just you have to look for more creators. You have to expand your horizons is what, I'm telling my audience. Like, look, I'm going to play other games. I'm going to diversify. I've changed main games a couple of times. It happens. It's what we do. It's our life cycle as a content creator. Like, right. It's what's organically going to happen. But the fact that it's all compiling at once and everything in some way can be associated to Snap. Pokemon Pocket's a card game. You've got the same interest as you see the Hearthstone community that came on over to Snap. Most of the Hearthstone community is also oddly interested in Bazaar. So you see a lot of those creators going in that direction. And then
I see that though.
Exactly, right? And then you've got Marvel fans who are like, wait a minute, Marvel Snap, Marvel Rivals. Great, awesome. Like you're seeing the direct branch offs all originating around Snap, and they think that that means that the nucleus of their content creator world is weakening because everybody's spreading outward. And as someone watching it and experiencing it, both, you know, as a creator and as a user, the only thing I want to really drive to the community is December specifically. Once Rivals goes live on the 6th. Yeah. I was like, I forget which one, but yeah. Once it goes live on the 6th, you have to realize how rare it is that a game launches in December and it's going to be popular. And then there's going to be the holiday hiatus for most games, as there always has been. Most game, companies take 2 weeks off for the holidays, 3 weeks off, whatever, during this time of the year. And then January comes back up and then they're back in full force and here they go. So I invite people to do exactly what the content creators are doing. Expand your horizons. Try Bazaar. Try Rivals. Try Pokemon Pocket. Because one of two things is going to end up happening. You're either going to find a reason that you do like Snap more, or you're going to find a reason that you do not like Snap more anymore. And that's healthy. You should get out of that rut. You should look into other avenues to give you a different perspective. Like my analysis of Marvel Snap's monetization model is completely different now after taking so much time to just really hone in on Pokemon. And then I come back to Snap and I look at what's already there. And all I want to do is express opinions about fixing shit, because as much as they do well, the longevity of the game is really starting to come into question from a lot of people. So I want people to expand. I want our listeners to expand. Listen to other creators of Power On. Watch the Fortnite tournaments. Watch the Power On, events that we decided to throw on in January. Watch the, get used to seeing other games and try other games. It's okay to.
Yeah.
Believe us. We know.
Yes. Yeah, you could always do that. You always feel free to do, what makes you happy, right? So if you're interested and want to watch Pokemon, watch Pokemon. If you want to watch Rivals, watch Rivals. But like if your favorite content creator is playing Pokemon, but you really want to see Snap, you also got to understand he's playing Pokemon right now. Like that's his avenue. You can go, like he said, to another streamer and get your Snap fix. Or you can take a shot and give Pokemon a chance and sit there and watch some Pokemon, try to learn the basics of that and learn how to, get some of the tricks from It's Guess Gaming or any other content creator that's out there. Like you have that choice. And that's the beautiful part about it. You don't have to be stuck in a rut or stuck anywhere. And, you also don't have to be upset when your favorite content creator is doing, a game that you might necessarily not want to watch. You can eventually they will play that game. Or I remember when Guest was streaming, he was like, hey, sorry, we already did the Marvel Snap part of this stream. I'm playing Pokemon right now. Oh, okay, cool. And you have to move on. And I get some people might be upset, or you know what I mean? Because that creator is where they get their dose of gaming from, right? Like that's where they're comfortable. Yes. That's where they want to be. That's their private little sanctuary that they like to hang out in. So going somewhere else might feel a little different, and maybe that's uncomfortable. You know what I mean? But change sometimes may be uncomfortable, but it could be good. You never know. You might find something or someone else that has that same type of feel. So, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at anybody who wants to play Pokemon. I'm not mad at anybody who wants to play Rivals or anything like that. Do what you feel. Like do what makes you happy is the most important thing at the end of the day, right? You got to live with yourself. So just do what you feel, and people just have to understand,
1,000%, guys. 1,000%. And that's what we've been doing. We've been, like I said, we all been playing different games. We've all been having a good time. And what's cool is that, well, for me, I'm sure guests as well, our community has been open to watching us play other games, right? Yeah. They come in the stream like, Tech, we playing Pokemon tonight, or Tech, we go back to the Bazaar. So it's been, refreshing to see that. It's also been refreshing to see that as other content creators stop playing Snap, while I'm playing Snap, somebody would come in and be like, Tech, I know you're still playing Snap, and they now want to come watch you play Snap because the other content creator who was playing it don't play it anymore. So it's been a great mixture to see people from back in the day come back to watch me play Snap and watch people who watch me play Snap, watch me play Pokemon or Bazaar. And we are going to be playing Rivals, and I'm going to make some awesome content for Rivals. I'm focusing around, of course, the aesthetics of the game more so than the actual gameplay. And I think it's going to be super fun. Yes, not Super Skins God. Don't nobody. No.
Hey guys,
no.
Look at this. Look at this. Cool
we got
picture
skins. We have no super skins. Nothing. No, that's the word. We're not using that. Okay, no.
You got it, bro. Super Skin Guide. You got this.
Stop
I'm
right
so
now.
glad you just named yourself.
Yeah.
No, I said no. Okay, like I talked to my daughter.
Well, you
no.
sure as fuck ain't skinny tech god. So like,
That's right. So super skins.
yeah.
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that at all. No skins, guys. No skins. But yeah, guys, thanks again for listening. And I mean, that's how we feel right now. I really appreciate you guys still listening to the channel. As always, giving us that love. We totally appreciate it. And yeah, we are going to be, playing multiple games. But yeah, we are the Snap Podcast. So we'll talk about Snap nonstop. And as long as Snap, go ahead and continue.
Hey, there we go. There goes our dog.
Yeah.
What up, my dog?
Hey, Tax, hey.
This is
my dog.
Yeah. For those on the audio who are like, what the hell are you talking about? I got a puppy who's been asleep on my lap up until literally this moment. So
we see him on your crotch cam. We call it.
The
It's
crotch
Guess
cam.
Gaming's
it's
crotch cam.
a lap cam. It's a
No,
lap
we call it
piece.
crotch
That's
cam.
a crotch cam. That's definitely a crotch cam.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you guys go to the stream, exclamation mark, crotch cam, okay?
Crotch cam.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Some super tech sent you.
That's right.
All right,
They will.
guys.
Oh, wait, and guys, don't forget to check out Smooth Out. All right, Fortnite tournament, November
Monday.
25th. All right.
That's right. That's right. It's
Don't
gonna be
forget,
lit.
guys. Go check it out. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.